Is fluoride good? Oh gosh, guys, I wish nobody asked me this. What's the craziest thing you've seen in a patient's mouth? A spider. How much do you make as a hygienist? We get about $6 an hour. Why is your background so boring? Oh! Guys, I'll be answering these and some other juicy questions you've asked in the comments. Plus, I'll be providing a valuable resource to get your questions answered quickly and thoroughly. Let's go. Question number 1. Is whitening with banana peel effective? No. Do figs whiten teeth? No. Can pineapple help whiten my teeth? Y'all, with these whitening questions. Okay, I'm starting to see a trend, so let me just get a couple of things out of the way. So number 1, our teeth are naturally not white. They're naturally more yellow and creamy in color. So why would we expect something natural like fruit to take something natural like yellow colored teeth and turn them into something unnatural like white teeth? That's my first point. The other point actually is, I think I understand why people are thinking that, fruit can help whiten teeth, because some fruit, particularly like figs and pineapple, actually contain an enzyme that can in fact lift off surface stain. But in order for this to happen, you need to eat a boatload of figs or a boatload of pineapple. I mean, you'd sooner experience acid erosion on your teeth than see the stain removed with these enzymes. So bottom line, I highly recommend you stay away from these natural trends or whatever to try to whiten your teeth. Just stick to what works: hydrogen peroxide, carbamide peroxide, found in traditional whitening solutions and whitening strips. Okay, moving on. Can spinach cause brittle teeth? Oh, actually, I did a whole video on this recently, but basically yes and no. So spinach and some other healthy foods actually contain oxalates and phytates, and these are molecules that kind of suck up the calcium in your body. So if all you're eating is these foods that are rich in oxalates and phytates, you're sucking out the calcium from your bones and your teeth, which can lead to brittle bones, brittle teeth. But typically people incorporate a variety kind of diet, so they, eat cheese and yogurt and dairy, hopefully. Stuff rich in calcium, which helps to kind of balance out these oxalate and phytate rich foods. So yeah, interesting question. Eat your spinach, but also eat your cheese. Sorry, vegans. Does sedentary lifestyle affect teeth? Actually, nobody asked this, but I wanted to just share my discovery with you guys. I recently did a saliva DNA test and found that one of the bacteria that they look for in saliva is actually related to sedentary lifestyle. So if you lead a sedentary lifestyle, you could increase the risk of this bad bacteria, which can contribute to periodontal disease, which can contribute to heart disease and Alzheimer's. So literally, exercise is so much more important than we realize. Why is your background so boring? Oh, this background? I thought you guys meant like my history. I'm like, how do you know my background? Actually, if you knew anything about me, you'd know my life is very interesting. Some people say I could even write a book, but you mean my well, joke's on you. Maybe if you would subscribe to my channel and help me grow so I can afford a more cool background for you guys. Also, let's keep this dental. Okay, by the way, if you guys have some issues with your teeth and you're not sure where to get started, particularly like gum health or bad breath or dull colored teeth, check out my free Smile Reset guide where I kind of break down these issues and what could potentially be causing them, just to kind of give you a foundation of what solutions to look for. Plus, when you sign up, I will send you guys some exclusive discounts to some of my favorite dental products. That'll be in the first link down below. Okay, back to the questions. Do LED whitening kits work? Again with the whitening, guys. But actually this is a pretty good question. I've tried a lot of different whitening kits out there. I've even had friends and family try them. And the conclusion that I've come to is these over-the-counter LED whitening trays that have the little blue light on them aren't actually very effective. I kind of did a deep dive video a while back, but actually in order for a blue light to be effective in helping to whiten your teeth, it needs to be a very specific wavelength. And in order to achieve that very specific wavelength, the product ends up being pretty expensive. So all these cheap over-the-counter LED whitening kits don't have the proper wavelength for it to do anything. Plus the trays themselves aren't very like custom fit. And so you end up putting this whitening solution into the tray and it just becomes a goopy mess. It doesn't actually touch your teeth. It ends up just kind of seeping out and not actually whitening your teeth. So I would say stay away from those over-the-counter LED whitening kits and just stick to what works. I've personally always just used whitening strips. I used Crest before. I found Ollie, which also incorporates hydroxyapatite and some potassium nitrate, which helps with the sensitivity. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. How much do you make as a hygienist? Well, right now I'm actually a stay-at-home mom, so I'm not making any money as a hygienist. But to your point, if I were to go work right now, in my area, we get about $75 an hour, plus or minus depending on your experience. But yeah, $75 an hour, not bad if I say so myself. Your teeth are pretty. Thank you. Actually, I was really self-conscious about my teeth growing up because my front teeth were a little bit crooked, like overlapping, and they were quite yellow. I've since whitened and straightened them, so what you see right now is not real. It took me some time and money to get this, but yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Why does my breath stink so bad? I use mouthwash and it doesn't help. Okay, so there are actually several reasons for bad breath. So you'd first have to understand and figure out what's causing your bad breath and then tackle that. Some common reasons for bad breath include obviously like a cavity or tooth infection are the most common culprits that come to mind, but also things like tonsil stones, any sinus issues, post-nasal drip, gut issues, gut problems as well can very much contribute to bad breath. So trying to figure out which one of those is kind of the main culprit for you and then going from there. I can't really dive into all the specific details, but spoiler alert, if you guys really want to, I've opened up my schedule for some one-on-one coaching calls. So if you really want to get like down to the root of things, you can book a call with me and we can kind of figure out a personalized game plan for you. Is fluoride good? Oh gosh, guys, I wish nobody asked me this. So I can't believe I say this as a hygienist, but I'm not a huge fan of fluoride. It is a known neurotoxin and it's dose dependent, which means the more you use or the more you have in your system, the more it wreaks havoc on your body. We have it in our water, at least here where I live, which also means like some food products that are processed with our water, like cheese, like dairy products and stuff, also processed with fluoridated water. So we get a lot of fluoride, more than you realize, just in everyday kind of food and drink. And so I personally don't really see a need to use it in my toothpaste. Plus, when I worked clinically, I would get patients who would religiously use, prescription strength fluoride toothpaste and still get cavities. So I think there's a lot more to it in terms of cavity prevention, and there are better ways to do it. So I personally prefer to avoid fluoride. I know that's crazy again, coming from a hygienist, but that's my 2 cents. Watch this get buried in the algorithm because the government has a fluoride agenda. Can you share a toothbrush? No. Will you survive? Yes, but just don't do it. Can I just put caps on all my teeth so I don't have to worry about cavities? Okay, so by caps, I'm assuming you mean crowns, which basically is something you put over a tooth. Usually it's like porcelain or metal. But yeah, no, actually, that's not a good idea. First of all, I think putting caps on all your teeth is super overkill. And the thing is, you can still get cavities, and oftentimes people do get cavities underneath the crowns. So not a good option. Better to just brush and floss. I know you guys want to skip and cut corners and try to do everything but brush and floss, but really brushing and flossing will get you a long way for most people. I say that as a caveat because there are a few people, a small group of the population, that they really need to do a lot of extra things to keep their mouth in a healthy condition, but that is a much smaller amount of people than you think. Highly recommend to not skip corners and just brush and floss. What's the craziest thing you've seen in a patient's mouth? A spider. Where are you from? Were you waiting for me to elaborate on the spider story? Gotcha. Okay, I'll share with you because it's a pretty crazy story, but I had an elderly patient come in one day. I think it was one of my first days working as a hygienist. And I'm like opening the patient's mouth to kind of take a look before I get started. And just in the corner in there was like a little tiny spider. It was not alive anymore. But I didn't want to like upset the patient or make them panic. So I just took a little gauze, wiped it out, and kept looking and doing my thing. So that was fun. Sleep with your mouth closed, guys. Okay, where are you from? Okay, another non-dental question, but whatever. Wait, why though? Do I have an accent, or I'm curious where you guys think I'm from? Comment down below and I'll pin my answer like in a week or something. I guess, spoiler alert, I'm not originally from America, but anyway, thank you guys for sharing your questions. Keep them coming. I'd love to do more videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe, and otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.